It's Champions League Matchday 6 this week. It's the final round of the group stage where we'll see which teams get to advance, who goes to the Europa League, and whose European campaign is over. Now, I want to try and avoid betting on some of these teams that are already advanced or that have nothing to play for and have already been eliminated. So let's just focus on 5 or 6 of the games over Tuesday and Wednesday. I've created one parlay from each of Tuesday and Wednesday's games. Now, while you're listening, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more soccer picks all year long. Let's start with Tuesday's parlay, and it's going to start with Copenhagen and Galatasary. It's all on the line here in Group A. Copenhagen, they're currently second with 5 points, but Galatasaray is third with 5. Man U are right behind them both with 4 points. So all 3 teams can still finish second, third, or fourth in the Champions League, in the Europa League, or out of both. Now, when these teams played back in Matchday 1, it was 2-2. They can't settle for a draw this time, with a possibility of Man U beating Bayern, and that a Bayern team that's already qualified, so potentially might not be fielding a full lineup here. So this game should see goals, as both teams know they might need a win here. Both actually only have 1 win in 5, though, in this Champions League. Copenhagen, they drew 0-0 with Bayern in Germany last game. They beat Man U 4-3 in Denmark, and they lost to Bayern 2-1 in Denmark as well. So Copenhagen, they have scored in both of their home games already. They'll be at home here. Galatasaray, they also only have 1 win, but they have scored in every single game. They've also conceded, though, in every single game. The over, both teams to score, and both teams to score an over 2.5 are all perfect 5-0 bets in their Champions League group stage games. If you look at their scores, it's 2-2, 3-2, 3-1, 2-1, and 3-3. If you were betting this game by itself, I would say both teams to score an over 2.5 in this parlay. Even though a draw might not be enough, I'm just going to go both teams to score to start this parlay. And the second leg will be Man U and Bayern Munich. We're going to stick in Group A. It's a tough one to call. Bayern, like I said, are already through. They don't need this game. Man U definitely need it, as they're last in the group. But they've been awful in the Champions League. Right now at 1-1-3, they've scored 12 goals, but they've conceded 14. Only Antwerp has conceded more, and just barely, by conceding 15. Man U, they had an impressive midweek EPL game last week when they beat Chelsea, but they got run off their own pitch this weekend, losing 3-0 to Bournemouth. Bayern, they also got run off the pitch this weekend, losing in a shocking 5-1 defeat to Frankfurt. Now, last time these teams played, Bayern won 4-3. Man U knows they need the win. I don't trust this team to get a win on the best of days. They'll have to push forward, though. Either they're going to score against the Bayern backline that's also been shaky, or they will open themselves up to be scored on and expose themselves that way. Now, while Bayern don't need this, they'll want to erase that embarrassing memory of losing 5-1 on the weekend. They are still undefeated in 39 Champions League group stage games. They've won 35 of those 39, and the last time their last game where they didn't score against Copenhagen was the only time they've not scored in those 39 group stage games. One way or another, this again could be a both teams to score, both teams scoring over 2.5. I'm simply going to go over 1.5. If you go, just in case Bayern comes out and shuts down Man U and say wins 2-0. So let's go Man U and Bayern over 1.5. Both teams to score with Copenhagen and Galatasaray. That would come in at -129, which I think I will leave it at. If you wanted to try to bump that up to even money, I think we have one more game on Tuesday where we can just ask one team to score a goal, and that would be Union Berlin and Real Madrid. Now, this is a rather meaningless game for Madrid. They've coasted the qualification at 5-0-0. They're 8 points clear of second place Napoli in Group C. For Union, they know they aren't moving into the knockout rounds, but they could still claim third and go to the Europa League, as they are just 2 points back of Braga, who are the third place team. They'll be in Naples to face Napoli, so that still means they need a win, though, to move on. It's unlikely at the best of times playing against Madrid. It's even less likely when you consider that Berlin have just 1 win in their past 17 games. However, that 1 win did come on the weekend when they beat Gladbach 3-1 in the Bundesliga. Berlin are now actually 1-3-1 in their past 5 in all competitions, and they have scored in 4 of those 5 games. However, they have also allowed a goal in 19 straight games, and that's all but 1 game this season where they've allowed a goal. And that 1 game where they did keep the clean sheet was way back on August 13th in the Cup against a lower tier side, Astoria Waldorf. Now, they did hold Madrid, though, to just a 1-0 loss when they played in Spain in Matchday 1. So I don't trust this team to keep a clean sheet. They did keep it close, though. I think you could just ask Madrid to get 1 goal here if you wanted to get this parlay closer to even money. I'll leave that to you. I will just leave it at those first 2 legs for this parlay. Let's go into Wednesday. Got 3 games for this Wednesday parlay, starting with Atletico Madrid and Lazio. Atletico Madrid, they top Group E with 11 points, but Lazio are right behind with 10. So both are through, but the top spot is still up for grabs to get that better draw in the next round. It was 1-1 in Italy in match day 1 when they last played. Lazio has back-to-back clean sheets at home now in the Champions League against Celtic and Feyenoord. Now, since match day 1, Atletico Madrid have been scoring freely. They've won 3-2, drew 2-2, won 6-0, and won 3-1. That gives them 15 goals, which is tied for the most goals in the group stage right now. Atleti, they beat Almeria 2-1 at home this weekend, meaning they have just 2 losses in 16 games across all competitions. At home at the Metropolitana, they've made that a fortress of late, as they've now won 19 straight in all competitions, and they're 21-0 in their past 21 at home. In their past 28 at home, they only have 1 loss, and that came to Barcelona way back on January 8th. Lazio, they're playing well right now. They're 3-1-0 in their last 4 in all competitions, but on the road, they are winless in 4 competitions. They've also conceded a goal in 9 of 10 on the road this season in all competitions, which is why I will simply ask Atletico Madrid to get 1 goal on Wednesday. And let's go next to another big game. It's going to be Dortmund and PSG. It was 2-0 in Paris on match day 1 when these teams last met. But Dortmund's been the better team since at 3-1-0, putting them first in Group F and giving them qualification to the knockout rounds already. PSG, they're just 1-1-2 since, but they can still bump Dortmund from first with a win, as they are second with 7 points. And the head-to-head, if they could beat them twice, would give them that top spot. PSG, they could also fall to the Europa League with a loss and a win by either Newcastle or Milan. All the Dortmund games have been close. They've only scored 6 goals, but they've only allowed 3 goals. That's the second fewest goals allowed during the group stage. It's tied with Arsenal with 3, and only Sociedad with 2 goals allowed is better. Dortmund, they're winless in 3 in all competitions right now. They lost 3-2 at home to Leipzig in the Bundesliga on the weekend, and 2-0 to Stuttgart in the Cup, and they drew 1-1 with Leverkusen in the Bundesliga before that. But at home, in any competition, they are 18-3-2, and they have scored in 21 of their past 23 home games. PSG is having a good season as well right now. They're undefeated in 5. They only have 1 loss in 11 in all competitions, only 3 losses in 20 in all competitions, and they've scored in 18 of 20. We might see both teams to score here. Like I said, Dortmund games have been very close. I just think win, lose, or draw, there's good value on a Dortmund just simply to score. Dortmund's close to 3-1 underdogs in this game, and you can just throw them in there to get 1 goal to include in this parlay. And to wrap up the parlay, we'll go to the Porto and Shakhtar game. 1 team is going to the knockout round here, 1 team to the Europa League. Both are tied with 9 points behind Barcelona, who have 12 in Group H. Porto are second in the seeding, Shakhtar are third. It was 3-1 Porto on match day 1 on the road. Porto have scored in 4 of 5. They've also conceded in 4 of 5. Shakhtar have scored in all 5. They have back-to-back home or neutral field wins of 1-0 over Antwerp and surprisingly Barcelona as well. I think one way or another, we will see at least 2 goals. So I'm going to go over 1.5 in that game. So the parlay will be Porto and Shakhtar over 1.5. Dortmund to score, Atleti to score. That comes in at -102 over at Caesars. So there we go. 1 Champions League parlay for Tuesday and Wednesday. Let me know what your Champions League picks are in the comments below, and good luck this week.